Today I'll be showing you the best way to tie in your limb-activated arrow rest using the Prusik knot method. Let's get right into it. This is pretty simple to do. You're just gonna need a limb-activated rest. I have the Hamskea Epsilon on a Mathews bow, so I could either tie it into my limb, but I'm gonna be using this little plate that comes on Mathews bows. Set of Allens, possibly, a lighter, about 30 inches of D-loop material, the activation cord dampener. A pair of scissors or a knife will work. Okay, I'll show you both methods in case you don't have a Mathews. You can tie it in onto the limb directly. I'll show you that one first. You're gonna wanna go around from the inside, loop it around one more time. So it's like this. Take this outside cord, go around the back of the first cord, underneath. So you crossed over, now you're gonna go underneath. Take it, loop it up around the main cord, and then back through the little hole. And then you're just gonna wanna tighten it all down. Take all the slack out. And then once this is tight, you'll just cut off this little tail, and then that's not going anywhere. Okay, what you're gonna wanna do is slide on your dampener for your activation cord. You just sit and feed it through each one of these holes. You're gonna want your dampener close to the bottom limb. You don't want it in the middle or up top. You're gonna want it pretty close. You're gonna make sure there's no slack in any of the loops. Pull it a couple times, give it a good stretch. Okay, now I'll show you the method for a Mathews. And make sure if you don't have the Mathews, you slide that limb cord pretty far up to the riser. You don't want it over here. You're gonna want it up here. Make sure this is loose. Go around the back side of this. Okay. Now, just like the one in the beginning, you're gonna wanna go over the top, through the loop, then take this, now you're right here. You're gonna wanna go underneath the main cord, and then back through this little gap. So it's almost like a small little D-loop. So it'll look like this. Cinch that tight. Let's give it a lot of pulls here. Now I will end up sliding this a little bit further down because it's a little high right now. And then what's nice is you can tighten it. Now that's not going anywhere. And I will end up cutting this little bit of slack off when we're done. So that's perfect. I have about an inch from where I tied the knot. And then now we're gonna go up to the top of the rest. Okay, so we tied in the bottom. Now we're going to tie in the Prusik knot. So you're going to take your line, and if you have a Hamskea Epsilon, you just go through the hole right here and then out the front. And as you can see, when I pull it, it activates the drop away. So what you're gonna do right here is you're gonna take this line and you're going to go over the top of your main line, just like that. And you're gonna take this cord through the hole And you're gonna wrap it 2 times. Once, twice. And you're gonna go back through the hole to finish it off, right there. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. We finished it over the line. Now we're going to go over so it's already over the line, we're gonna go over it and underneath the main line, and we're going to do the same thing. So it'll be once, pull through, twice, and then back through one more time and underneath this line, following the same way that the top knot did. So they'll both come out at the same hole. So it'll look just like that. Okay, now from this part, you're going to want to just tidy up all the knots and make sure they don't overlap each other. So what we can do to make this easier and perform the main function of the knot is grab this line right here and then grab the knot and then just slide it down. And then now the constrictor feature of the knot is working. And now we can just work itself and all the kinks out of it, or all the slack, I should say. Okay. And that's pretty much the main part of the knot. And then to finish this, we're just going to do an overhand knot. Let's see. Okay. Now this is important because you're going to want to have this knot here to tighten the slack out over time, just because the way strings are, this will stretch just a little bit. Going to cut this part off, fluff it up a little bit. Okay. So the cool feature about this knot is you don't have any of those little plastic things that go on here when you get your rest. I've had trouble with those. They just like to slip. They don't work as well. This is a self-working unit, so it's kind of nice. Now to adjust this, if you say you want to store your bow for a while, you could just loosen up the slack and then it deactivates your rest just like that. If you're storing it for a long time, I don't know if it makes a difference, but that's an option that you have. And like I said, if you want to reactivate it, just grab this part and then grab your knot and slide the knot down. And it's good to go. Plenty of tension, and it's super easy and it works. As you can see, it's a pretty simple way to tie in the activation cord of a rest. There's a little bit of the bottom. Well, thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you out a little bit on how to tie a Prusik knot. So now let's do some shooting.